We needed to take a look at the social media reactions for the new upcoming Superman movie, and hey guys, look at that. All of the shills that got in for free and watched the first 30 minutes says that the movie is great. It's like, okay, cool, that's fantastic, but I've seen clips, I've seen the marketing on this one, I've said it time and time again, I want this movie to be good, but then I see James Gunn's stupid face plastered all over the marketing, and I go, yeah, this is going to be a James Gunn movie, huh? It's going to have all of his quirks. It's going to have all of his stupid jokes. It's going to have his life story with a cape and red underwear attached to it. Fantastic, man. I am not excited about this at all whatsoever. And yeah, I think it's going to be better than the Fantastic Four, but then again, that's like saying getting AIDS is better than getting cancer. Needless to say, I'm not excited by either prospect. The first reaction to James Gunn's Superman are flying in, and and to the surprise of many, including longtime skeptics of Warner Brothers and the DCEU reboot, they're overwhelmingly positive. During a special promotional event in Brazil, yes, attendees were allowed to come in and sit under a complete and intact roof, away from monkeys and transients outside, where they don't have to dodge machete attacks, and they were given food to eat. They were overwhelmingly positive about their experience. But I don't know, am I talking about Brazil or Chicago? To the first 30 minutes of Superman, the film formerly known as Superman Legacy. Did you have a word count to hit? Because why are you even putting that? It's like, yeah, and then the follow-up to this will be Supergirl, formerly known as Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. While an embargo was likely in place. Yeah, because we're seeing this shit, and it's so fucking pathetic. Time and time again, we're seeing, super positive social media reactions that don't really tell you anything other than, well, I felt this when I watched this, and it was like, oh my god, so iconic when I seen this thing. But when, the real reviews start to come out, and then it's, oh boy, this shit sucks ass through a straw, man. We've seen it with Captain Black Falcon America, man. We've seen it with Snow White. We've seen it with the Thunderbolts. How many times do we have to see this cycle exposed before we can just, hop to its logical conclusion? Apparently a few times more. But I digress. Superman reactions described as fresh, heartfelt take on Man of Steel that's winning people over from frame one. No way, I saw the first 30 minutes of Superman after feeling so hopeless the entire day. So yeah, this is somebody who's already emotionally stable, who also has Superman in their fucking name bar. Needless to say, it was so damn beautiful, time absolutely flew by, and Superman himself and the cast was right in front of me. Okay, cool, so you got access to something, you want to say that it's great because you want access to the other thing that'll come out next. First 30 minutes of Superman was so good, a fresh perspective to take the character, sure. David is so good switching from Clark to Superman, and the chemistry with Rachel. I'm sure those are heart emojis. We've seen a lot, and yet we haven't seen a lot. Yeah, because the film is supposed to be 2 hours 10 or something like that. All right, sure, man. Yeah, holy, just saw 30 minutes of Superman. The fly scene is unique. You can feel the speed of Superman. Yeah, you're not really telling me about any of the characters, because there's a lot of them in this movie, and frankly, I think there's going to be too many. I think it's just going to be a messy disaster, highlighted with a few good performances, but overall sketchy dialogue. Because of all of the clips that we've seen out there, none of it's that great, and this one right here, 37 seconds of it, well, it just highlights a multitude of contradictions. Now, you got the comic guys that are out there going, Superman has super hearing, why is he asking Alex to clarify something that he could have clearly heard? But also, I'm just looking at this and it's like, oh my god, again, okay, what is this, the third consecutive time that we've seen trailers and clips from this movie where, yeah, in the first one, The Fortress of Solitude, you have Superman screaming because he's being healed by the sun. Then you have him flying off the handle in the faux interview scene with Lois screaming about, I'm good, I love, I care. And then with this one, I mean, like, the clip speaks for itself.
Oh, yeah, that's gonna be...
Okay, and that's another thing where, the purists are going to be, okay, well, why would Superman burst through a door risking somebody else's life? But then, okay, it's like, all right, I can hear your complaints on that one, but this could be a different take on Superman. The whole adaptation argument that's just never really holds that much water with me. But I just want to go ahead, okay, and establish he can go ahead and bust a door like that, no problem. Keep that in mind.
I tried to stop him.
It's fine, Heather. Superman, we finally meet. Would you like a coffee?
Where's the dog?
Okay, so far, like, Luthor's fine. I didn't really like his voiceover with the last trailer, mostly because, again, like the sound mixing in this thing has just been very, very odd, very, very digitized, very low bit rate. It's like, can we maybe clean this stuff up? Hopefully it's better with the movie, but I mean, you keep on putting this stuff out and then James lies about it and then maybe it'll get changed. I don't know, man, but everything's fine so far. But Superman coming in talking about his fucking dog again.
Dog.
The dog, Luther! You took the dog!
That's right, you get all of this.
Yo, why can't he break the window? What are we doing with that one? See, that's the problem. You show him busting a fucking door open, no problem. And then you have him flipping a table and it puts cracks in the window. Like, come on, man. What are we doing out here? But at least you have Lex Luthor, you know, sat in his chair, not really giving a single shit about any of this stuff. I do like that. I do like that.
Where's the dog?
Why is he screaming?
I have no clue what you're talking about.
He's just a dog.
I don't know what dog you're talking about. Ugly dog in a cave.
Okay, that's fucking cringe. Okay, that is James Gunn shit right there. But here we are again, man. Okay, like this was supposed to be a different take on Superman. Tell me how this is any different than Krypton had its chance. I don't like this stuff. I really don't like this stuff. It's the same stuff we were talking about with the Fantastic Four, and you have Pissy Pants Pedro fucking flipping his lid every time he has a problem laid at his feet. And here we are once again with Superman flying off the handle. You have people that are complaining about, yeah, him blinking when he gets hit in the head by a can. But every single trailer comes out and he's fucking losing his mind. Why would Superman care about shit that's said on social media? Yeah, a dog's important. I like my fair share of animals as well. But Superman's spurging out like this? Like, Superman is supposed to be the peak representation of unchained humanity. What the peak man can go ahead and achieve without any limitations. Batman is supposed to be the realistic interpretation of that, but yes, this is unfettered, unbridled masculinity writ large. And yes, because that's what Superman traditionally is, conventionally is, that's why James Gunn has made him such an unhinged fucking idiot. Because, like I said with the Fantastic Four video, with the Pedro Pascal video that just came out a couple of hours ago, if you want to watch that for more context, feel free to do that. There's kind of a through line running through today. Superheroes and just this warped morality that you have with mass media and Hollywood. They have no goddamn idea what it is to be a man. What people know deep down in their guts. What they understand masculinity to be. And what continues to go into their head time and time again with these propagandistic messaging bullet points drilled into their head year after year, decade after decade, generation after generation. And we have reached a breaking point because you know it, I know it. Masculinity is very simple, but the way that it continues to get denigrated and attempted to be recharacterized and redefined is sick, disgusting, and pathetic. And now these feminists, these girl bosses, everyone who was told that they can go ahead and do it better than all the men, and plus they can do it in high heels, are starting to reap exactly what they sow. And this is another one of those articles, because you have, there's no such thing as a happy, satisfied old feminist. We've seen those articles time and time again. Yes, a lifetime of feminism has left me at home alone, surrounded by wealth, but nothing else. An empty home, no pitter-patter of little feet, nothing to satisfy me in my old age. Shit sucks, bro. Buy a cat, a box of wine, and fucking die alone with your glorious Steinem autobiography. Because that's reality for so many feminists that are out there. Meanwhile, what gets pushed on men? Oh, you need to go ahead and need to wife up these hoes, okay? It doesn't matter about her body count because, okay, cool. I want to take one passage from this article. It's otherwise just vacuous and it's just some bitch fucking writing in her diary and it gets published by the New York Times of all publications. But yeah, men, where have you gone? Please come back. Please save us from the repercussions of our terrible choices. We don't want to give you any more authority, okay? You can have all the responsibility, none of the authority. We used to define that as slavery, but it's totally fine because, you know, theoretically there were women that were oppressed back in the cut, and men of today, they have to go ahead and atone for the original sins of the father. It is fucking bullshit. But yeah, the one thing, okay, because I'll link to this archive, because otherwise if you try to read it on New York Times, the website in and of itself, it's all paywalled and shit like that, which is, just fucking part and parcel of this entire phenomenon. But I'm 54. I've been dating since the mid 80s. I've been married, been a mother, gotten divorced, had many relationships, long and short. I remember when part of heterosexual male culture involved showing up with a woman to signal something: status, success, desirability. Women were once signifiers of value, even to other men. It wasn't always healthy, but it meant that men had to show up and put in some effort. Fucking hilarious. So you got a bitch out here, saying, yeah, my box is all used up, that I've just, thrown it around for decades at this point in time. I've been dating since, the mid 80s. I've done everything, okay? I've had somebody else's kid. I've expected other guys to, step up, to be the father, not a stepdad, to be the father, to be the dad who steps up. I chose to get divorced. I've had, long-term betas that I thought I could get provisioning out of, and then I've also, got flown out to Cancun and fucked some guy who was a little drunk and a little tipsy, but one thing led to another, and my old fucking bloomers were on the ground before I even knew it, and I was sucking them off behind the bar right next to the dumpster before I knew it. But yeah, women were once signifiers of value. Well, at one point in time, women actually had value. And yeah, men had to show up and put in some effort. Meanwhile, women are just perfect little creatures that men need to go ahead and qualify towards. It is such bullshit. Men need to do everything. Men need to be Superman. Meanwhile, women can go ahead and dictate to you what it means to be a man. And that's what Hollywood is pushing with shit like Superman. The best of us. The little American Boy Scout, right? I know he's a Kryptonian, but in every way that it matters, he is a farm boy from Kansas. He is the product of an all-American morality system that is so divorced from reality and so foreign to generations of men and women in certain subcultures that this is how he has to be presented in today's day and age. An emotional mental midget wearing a fucking cape. When in reality, you look at Joey Swole, somebody, a gym influencer in and of themselves, and I'm sure that there would be people that are out there, if they were to just simply see a picture of Joey himself, they would look at him and go, toxically masculine. Oh, hyper masculine. Oh, what are you compensating for with that big chest and those huge arms? Must have a tiny dick. And he gets it. This is a brilliant post. If a man expresses anger, he's toxic. If a man expresses fear, he's a coward. If a man expresses sadness, he's weak. If a man sets boundaries, he's insecure. If a man has standards, he's misogynistic. If a man expresses emotions, he's a simp. If a man shows no emotion, he's heartless. In the end, do what is right by you, your family, and your creator. Nothing else matters. Exactly. The need for men to qualify their masculinity by what they can do to perform for women is the wrong message. Excellent men are excellent, irregardless of not just women, but of anything else. And this whole idea that men need to be more in touch with their feminine side, get in touch with their emotions, be more emotionally intelligent, has fucked people up so bad that the concept of focusing on yourself, developing skills, getting in good shape, having a good moral compass is being seen as toxically masculine, as being categorized as overcompensation. No. These are weasel words and weasel phrases brought to you by otherwise weak men, jealous beta males, or women unsuccessful in their extraction of your resources. So how does this loop all the way back to Superman? We see the way that he's being characterized. We see the way that he's being brought to the screen. There's a reason why both of the Fantastic Four and Superman just look so totally unappealing by anybody paying attention, why there's no hype left in Hollywood, and why July will not only set the tone and tenor for Hollywood moving forward or the superhero genre, but it will also be a referendum on conventional gender roles. I really don't think Hollywood is ready to accept. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Coswell. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.